Good evening. Welcome to our May 15th Vatv show. With me tonight is a terrific guest, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. But before that, I would like to let you know once again that Vatv is sponsored by VietAid, which stands for Vietnamese American Initiative for Development. This program is broadcasted through Comcast Channel 9 and RCN Channel 15 and www.bnntv.org if you want to view it. It will be repeated on Wednesday. On Wednesday from 7 to 8, and it's a live show, and on Sunday at 5 p.m., Monday at 1 p.m., and Tuesday at 11 a.m. You can also call in at 617-708-3290 if you have any question for our guest. So welcome, and we have the pleasure and an honor to invite Miss Anna Adler of Read Boston, and she's here to tell us all about it. So welcome, Anna. How are you?
Thank you. I'm very good. I'm very happy to be here. Thank you.
Great, thank you. So now tell the audience, what is Read Boston all about?
Well, Read Boston was founded by our beloved mayor about 18 years ago. He wanted to create a literacy organization to support all the good work being done in our schools, but to provide additional resources that are really needed. So Read Boston, our mission is to have children reading on grade level by 3rd grade. And the reason why that's so important is that children up until 3rd grade learn to read. And then after 3rd grade, they read to learn. So that if children are not able to read by 3rd grade, they can get further and further behind. So that's a really key grade to look at. And at Read Boston, we do many, many things. We have many, many programs. But I'll say that we have several key focuses. One of them is professional development, which means that we do a lot of training. We train teachers and principals. We train child care workers. We train after-school directors and staff, and we train parents around best literacy practices, so things that those people can do to help children become stronger readers. We also provide books and libraries in every neighborhood in Boston, and having access to books is really, really important, because if you don't have books, well, then you really can't do all the reading that we need for you to be doing. So we create libraries in childcare programs and after-school programs. We create lending libraries in public schools. We try to, in the summer months, bring books into all kinds of neighborhoods. So providing books and libraries is also a big part of our mission. I can go on, but maybe you have a question.
So what is some of the work that you and Read Boston are currently doing around Boston?
Well, we are doing many things. One of the programs that I had a key role in creating is our after-school reading initiative. And in that program, what we've done is that we recognize that after school is a key time for young people to be reading and to be learning, and that schools alone are not enough. Children need more time around books, and all the research points to that although there's time in school, children need time out of school to be reading. So we created this initiative where we've been to over 100 after schools in Boston. And at these programs, we've trained the staff in ways to read aloud and do independent reading with their students. And it's really important that many of the people who work in after-school programs are great people, but may not be trained teachers, may not be teachers themselves. So they need professional development. So we've created intensive training for these people. And one of the things that we do that I want to actually share with you to make this sort of fun is one of the things at Read Boston that we promote is reading aloud. Now, reading aloud when I was a young person was something where you had to be really quiet, where you sort of had to just listen. And the reading aloud that I'm talking about is an interactive reading aloud, where when you read a book, you want it to be really engaging to the young people. So you ask questions, you show illustrations, you really want to get the children's comprehension. So reading aloud is seen as interactive, and you're exposing them to rich vocabulary. So one of my favorite books, which I don't know if you've ever seen before, is this one. It's called The Clever Boy and the Terrible, Dangerous Animal. And let me ask you a question. What do you think, based on the cover, this book is about?
Well, dangerous animal that children have to be aware of. or stay away from.
Is there a specific dangerous animal that this reminds you of?
Well, tiger. It looks like it's the tiger.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Can I share a little bit of this book with you?
Yes.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
This book was written by Idris Shah, who is a wonderful author.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Okay. Cute.
Once upon a time, there was a very clever boy who lived in a village. Nearby was another village that he had never visited. When he was old enough to be allowed to go about on his own, he thought he would like to see the other village. So one day he asked his mother if he could go, and she said yes, as long as you look both ways before you cross the road. You must be very careful. The boy agreed and set off at once. When he got to the side of the road, he looked both ways, and because there was nothing coming, he knew he could cross safely. And that's just what he did. Then he skipped down the road toward the other village. So basically, he comes to this village where all the people are saying, ooh, and ah, and oh, and they are so frightened. So the boy goes up to them and says, why are you saying that? And the man says, there is a terrible, dangerous animal in this field, and we are all very frightened because it might attack us. And the boy says, where is this terrible, dangerous animal? Oh, be careful, cried the people. But the clever boy asked again, where is this terrible, dangerous animal? And the people pointed to the middle of the field. Can you point to the middle of the field? So I often ask that of young people. And when the boy looked at the middle of the field, there was a very large
watermelon.
Wow.
Wow.
Wait a minute.
It's huge.
Wow.
Look at that.
There you go. They're definitely not a tiger skin.
So I'll stop reading here. But so we train teachers. We train teachers and parents in terms of how to make a read aloud engaging. How do you ask questions? And so I asked this opening question to kind of get you thinking about the book, to kind of bring you into the book.
Right.
And that's an important technique.
Yes, yes, yes. Now, so in terms of brain development, you know, that children need to, you know, to develop. What can parents do in order to get their children prepared for school?
That's a really, really important question. So one of the things that Read Boston has been doing for several years is leading early literacy workshops with parents and with child care workers. And the reason why we're doing that is that many parents don't realize that when a child gets to school, they actually have to be ready for school. You can't wait until your child goes to school. You actually need to be doing things at home to support their literacy skills. And that children actually, by the time they get to kindergarten, need to know between 5,000 and 8,000 words. That's a lot of words.
Yes.
And that in order to have that many words, that actually helps them become stronger readers. So we're doing workshops with parents where we talk about things you can do to develop children's vocabulary and language skills.
I see.
In the first 3 years of life, a child's brain grows to 90% of its capacity. So in those first 3 years, your brain is really, really growing.
Right.
And we want parents to take advantage of that time, to not just wait around.
Right.
So we've been doing workshops where we're talking about what are things that you can do to help your child develop vocabulary and language.
Yes.
One of the things that parents can do doesn't require money is just to have conversations with their children. So when you're going to the store or you're on the T, to think about using that time to engage. So we're on the train. What color is the train? You know, to talk to your baby, to talk to your toddler, to sort of use that time. And yes, they may not respond, but your baby and toddler, their brains are growing and absorbing so much information all the time. And some parents think, oh, that's kind of weird. I'm going to talk to my baby. I'm going to talk to my toddler. They're not going to respond. But we have to kind of get over that, because all the research says that talking with your baby and your toddler develops their language skills, and that language development in those early years leads to reading development later on. So there's a direct correlation.
Yes.
The other thing that we've been doing at Read Boston is promoting the importance of singing with babies and toddlers. So you know, that's something that a lot of parents may or may not do, but we've been sharing songs with parents, and it's great to sing all the songs that you might know, the ABC song, the Wheels on the Bus song. Those songs are really, really fun. And I do I have conversations with parents where I talk about, you know, in this culture in the United States, we think that you have to be on American Idol to be a singer. You have to be really good or else you shouldn't sing.
Yeah.
And you go to other cultures like in Ireland or in parts of Africa where everybody sings, where your singing is your birthright. And so I say to parents, you need to sing because your child, when they're born, they come out with a natural music ability.
Right.
Yes.
And they want to sing, so they respond to singing. And singing exposes children to lots of words, and that's, you know, the why.
Yeah.
The other thing that we do is we also promote reading with babies and toddlers. And we talk about, you know, what can you expect? Now with a baby will you know, pick up a book if they're able to, put it in their mouth, they'll, you know, teeth on it, they'll throw it down, and that's developmentally appropriate. What we want is we want parents to have books around. So put a book in your stroller, have it, you know, in your bathroom, just have books be a part of your life.
Yeah.
And that, you know, with babies, they're gonna hear the story, they might look at the pictures, they might respond. And with toddlers, you want to ask questions. You know, who can growl? I'm a panda, I can. Who can howl? Can you howl?
Yes.
Good, excellent.
Yes, I'm older.
I'm a wolf.
Yeah.
I can. You know, so you want to always, when you're reading with a toddler baby, you want to interact. You want to ask questions. You want it to be a lively kind of experience, and they'll pick up the book and they'll enjoy it. So, so those are some of the things that that we share. I just want to share a few more things.
Okay.
So we have these really funny ducks at Read Boston.
So
These are, aren't these cute? These are really cute. And we have these washcloths.
Cute.
And the reason why we have these things is that we want to say to parents, you know, when your baby's having a bath, when your preschooler's in the bath, that's a great time to sing songs. It's a great time to share stories, to talk about your day, to ask questions. So the bath time is, so this is just sort of to help parents remember. And, in the bath, read a book.
Oh, that's cute. That's a great idea.
Thank you.
Now, can people, can some children get that once they meet you, or? I mean,
yeah, one of the things that Read Boston does is whenever we do workshops, you know, with parents and with teachers, we always give people resources. So if you come to a parent workshop, you will definitely go home with one of our ducks and one of our washcloths. So it's really fun to have that.
That's cute. So based upon your work around Boston, what information are parents lacking?
I think, you know, that's a big question. I think that some of what I just shared about not waiting until your child gets to school, but starting in the early years with literacy development. I think for older students to remember that children do not have enough time in school, and that you need to be reading at home with your child for at least 20 minutes. That home reading component is really, really important. Read Boston has this program called the Family Literacy Project, where we go into the public schools in Boston and we create these wonderful lending libraries. And we do that to support home reading, so that books are going home with children, so that they actually have books, and we have reading logs that children fill out. And we have a partnership with the Celtics and the Bruins,
that's
which
nice.
is wonderful, and that they give us incentives and prizes for the schools that complete the most home reading.
I see.
So we're able to offer children, you know, if your school does well, you might get a visit by the Celtics, or you might get to go on a duck tour, or you know, things like that our children like and look forward to. I think the other thing that I would say to parents is that, you know, if your child is not interested in reading, what can you do? I get that question a lot. What can I do? And the first thing I think of is well, are you as the parent, are you reading? Are books a part of your life?
Right.
Because often children follow what adults model.
That's right,
And I think about also following your children's interest. So say your child's really into baseball, or your child really likes turtles, or your child really likes comic books.
Right.
To really try to follow your child's interest and get those books that are about those things. Now I know that for me, I'm a musician, and I'd like to bring music into whatever I do.
And we'd like to hear you sing too.
So one of the things that I enjoy doing is finding books that have rhythm and rhyme.
Okay.
And that often young people respond because they have a natural tendency to respond to music. So I often get people who are not so excited about reading excited because a book has rhythm. So this is one of my favorite books. It's called Hey Little Ant by Philip and Hannah Hoos. And actually, Hannah wrote this when she was 7, and her father helped her write it. So it's kind of cool to tell kids that. This book was written by a 7-year-old. So I read this with a bit of a rhythmic attitude.
Okay.
And the kid says, "Hey, little ant down in the crack, can you hear me? Can you talk back? See my shoe, can you see that? Well, now it's gonna squish you flat." And the ant says, "Please, oh please do not squish me. Change your mind and let me be. I'm on my way with a crumb of pie. Please, oh please don't make me die."
So cute.
And the kid says, "Anyone knows that ants can't feel. You're so tiny, you don't look real. I'm so big and you're so small. I don't think it'll hurt at all."
Oh, that's so cute.
Isn't it cute?
Yes, very cute.
Very
And you're a good singer too.
Oh, well, I'm just going to talk in the chant.
Yeah.
But children love this book because, you know, I respond to what is written, but I, you know, find that natural beat.
Right.
And they're just like, "Oh, what's going to happen next? What's going to happen next?"
Yeah.
So a part of what I say to parents is try to find books that appeal to your children, who they specifically are. Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, so what have been the rewards or the challenges as you try to reach out to the children and to encourage the parent, you know, to encourage their children to read? So, yeah, what have been some rewards or challenges?
Oh, that is a good question. I think that there are many challenges. You know, to be honest, I think that a lot of children definitely struggle with reading. You know, and I think that I've also had many successes. So for me, you know, I'll hear stories, you know, after I do a workshop with a parent or a teacher saying, "Oh my gosh, I took, you know, this book home and I read it to my child, and they are now, they want to hear it every night." So hearing stories about, you know, because we found a particular book that was engaging or fun, that a parent or a teacher used that in their classroom. Or I helped a teacher, you know, a lot of teachers have different abilities. So, you know, me saying, well, if you are an artist, pick books that involve artists. If you're a musician, pick books that are a musician. So I always try to sort of find out whoever I'm working with, what are their interests, what are their strengths, and use that in terms of helping them promote reading. I think that I think of literacy beyond books. Literacy is about all the things in our lives that involve reading, writing, thinking, expressing. So for instance, cooking. Cooking involves literacy.
Yeah.
So does songwriting. So does being in a play. So does debating. And so I often say to parents and teachers, what are other things that you can integrate into your daily practice that involve those things? Because maybe you have a child who's really into debating, and that's a way to integrate literacy. Or maybe you have somebody who's a cook and needs to read menus. So try to take literacy and expand it to think about, you know, how can I get someone involved in a kind of a creative way.
Yeah, I see.
So we don't have much time left, but what is the last thing you would like to share with the audience?
Oh, well, this summer we have our Storymobile program, which goes to 80 programs where we have storytellers come.
Nice.
And if you come, your child will take a book home, and we'll be actually coming to V@Aid on Friday mornings.
Wonderful.
That's nice.
It's through the Cleveland Community Center, but I hope that your community comes.
Yes.
And again, every child who comes will get a book to take home.
Oh.
And if you want to know more information about Read Boston, please friend us on Facebook. And you can feel free to call me directly at my number, 617-918-5247, if you want more information or these titles or more information about the work that we do.
All right. Thank you so much, Anna. Thank you for watching VATV show tonight. Thank you for joining us and very helpful information. If you have any question, please call us at 617-822-3717. or email us at vatv@vat8.org, or visit our website, www.vat8.org. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you,
so
Anna.
much. It was a
been
pleasure.
terrific. Thank you.
Thank you.